Casting call. This is a new segment we're doing, and I only called it or made it a new segment because there's just too many big casts, big ensembles being announced, and I wanted to wrap it into one, make it tied into a sweet little bow. I didn't want to make it anything, extensive and long because we were going to do separate, segments for this one. But anyway, we'll combine it all into three quick bursts here. So Knives Out 3, we know that's going to have a big cast. Nayan, and when he hosted the last podcast that we did last week, basically, I had like 6 people already casted. Now we got an extra 4 added in. So Nayan, those ones are Josh Brolin, Thomas Hayden Church, Sandman himself, Mila Kunis, and Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. What do you think of these new additions that will be joining Daniel Craig, Glenn Close, Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney, Kerry Washington, and Josh O'Connor?
Yeah, it's good. All of them are pretty established already. I would have liked to see, a little bit more of the lower tier people, up-and-comers or mid-rangers as well. But I'm not complaining with any one of them. I mean, Jeremy Renner's coming back into Hollywood slowly, and this is a good role for him to, truly come out and tell everyone that he is back in acting. Mila Kunis, I can't even remember the last film she was in or last anything she was in. I think her and Ashton Kutcher are just doing their own little thing at the moment. So it'd be nice to see her back in that acting role again. And Thomas Hayden Church and Josh Brolin, they're both solid actors. So I think this cast is really well-rounded with lots of different personalities and, acting. What's the word I'm looking for? Acting types. Whatever.
Yeah. Versatility, I think.
Versatility,
perhaps.
Yeah, acting versatility between each of them. Like they're all not all the same type of actor. They're all different.
Yeah. I think you hit it the nail on the head there because, I think all of these actors can bring something different to the role and then bring something different to the movie as well. And there's just going to be some very interesting dynamics. And I think Rian Johnson has kind of, a sandbox of different things he can get from the actors here. So I'm excited. It's all up to Rian Johnson to really make them all click together, as he did in the first Knives Out, not so much in the second one. All right, we have a little bit of an update on the Beatles movies. Actually, quite a big update. So we have our rumored cast members that will be playing the Beatles. Don't know how familiar you are with the Beatles name. It's a little bit before our time, I'd say, just a little bit. So the cast members for this one: Paul Mescal will be playing Paul McCartney, Harris Dickinson will be playing John Lennon, Charlie Rowe will be playing George Harrison, Barry Keoghan, Ringo Starr. That's who he'll be playing. So it's going to be 4 different films. They're all going to be interconnected and told from, or each movie is going to be told from the point of view from one member. And all of them are going to be releasing theatrically in 2027. If that doesn't get you excited, they're all directed by Sam Mendes, he did Skyfall, 1917. He's done other stuff as well, but he's a great director. So this is one to really be excited for. Nan, how does this cast sound to you?
It's like the Avengers right here, they're all getting their individual films for the eventual team-up film. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this where it's been 4 separate biopics based on a group, all to be released in the same year, directed by the same person as well. I don't think I've ever seen that in anything, not even like major franchises as well. So I think this is awesome, and I really hope it does work as well, because I touched upon your comment. I'm not sure before. I am not familiar with the Beatles. I know a few of their songs, but I don't really, and I know who they are, but I don't know their story or whatever. But I do know that they're a huge group. So this is a lot of pressure because you don't really want to turn off those fan bases, even though most of them are close to death door, considering how long these guys have been around for.
Oh my gosh.
But Sam, hey, that's not as bad as your opening line.
Yeah, I know. That one was bad.
But Sam Mendes directing all 4. Holy shit, he's a fantastic director. You touched upon it, 1917 and Skyfall, 2 of his recent hits. Previously, I think he did Spectre. I can't remember.
I did,
Yeah, so that was a little bit of a tarnish, but 1917 made up for it. And the cast for the individual Beatles themselves, I think they're perfect. They're just, slowly starting to break out or up and coming people. So I think this is
Yeah.
going to really, put them on the map, similar to what Austin Butler did with Elvis and Taron Egerton did for Elton John.
Yeah, yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this. This is definitely on my radar now. I really like the Beatles. I'm not familiar with their story, but just a lot of their music, when I guess the time is right or the vibe is right, their songs can just kind of fit perfectly, and I really enjoy them. So I'm super excited to get a Beatles story. Sam Mendes is the guy that I trust to do a good job with it. And yeah, like you do, the way these kind of movies are being done is super interesting. The fact that they're all going to be released in 1 year is exciting because you kind of get that momentum that's throughout all the movies. And hopefully it's just like one per season and not like, 4 in a month kind of thing. I hope it just
that's
plays
so
out.
stupid if they do that.
Yeah. So it's going to kind of be like a Beatles year, if anything. They are one of the biggest bands of all time, or musical artists, however you want to phrase it. So they deserve the justice to be done. The only thing I've really seen of the Beatles in terms of film is that movie Yesterday. Do you remember? Do you know the movie?
I
No.
remember it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an interesting take on how to you use the Beatles, I guess. But the Beatles have their own rights, and I think a studio whoever is doing this recently just got the rights to use the Beatles in film. So I guess that's how it's coming along. This sounds like it's the right way to do it because they are 4 different personalities, 4 different people. It'd be interesting to see their perspective on how they created one of the most iconic bands of all time. As for the cast, I love it, dude. The cast is great. Paul Mescal, he's on the ascension. Same with Harris Dickinson. Charlie Rowe, I've heard his name being touted around a little bit more these days, so he could really be someone that's on the up and coming list. Barry Keoghan, you know how he is. He's always part of these kind of movies. I expected him to play, especially Ringo Starr. He feels kind of perfect for the role. So at the moment, I believe this only one source came out with this information. So hopefully it stays true because I'm really liking the cast. Anyway, we're moving on to one of Nayan's favorite directors, Wes Anderson, and his next movie is the Phoenician Scheme. I believe it's already done filming, but we're getting cast announcements anyway.
This guy is like the king of just making movies and then just dropping all the details at once, Like, you never know when a Wes Anderson film's going to come out until, like, everything's done.
I know, yeah, and to that fact, he doesn't stop. Like, he's just always making stuff. Like, dude, slow down. I just want him to take, like, a few years break and just create, like, a masterpiece. I want that Wes Anderson masterpiece to come. And if it's already in Grand Budapest Hotel, then I'm going to be sad. But, hey,
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
No, not. Close second, we'll call it that. But anyway, we've got some new additions to this cast, and it is Willem Dafoe, Benedict Cumberbatch, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston. They are joining Benicio del Toro, Michael Cera, Bill Murray, and Riz Ahmed. So yeah, it's another stacked Wes Anderson movie. Thoughts on this one?
Yep. I completely forgot what the film was about. I read up on it before this podcast, but I probably should have written it down. But oh well. But the cast, you got your staples in there, the Bill Murrays and Scarlett Johansson as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name's Josh Schwartzman. And that Indian guy from Grand Budapest Hotel, don't know his name. I'm sure they'll all be announced as well because they're like his actual like staples. I swear Josh Schwartzman has at least been in part of, if not all, then at least 90% of Wes Anderson films. So I'll be surprised if he's not in this one. But yeah, it's another fantastic cast, pretty much similar to Knives Out, where it's all different personalities, different acting versatility as well, and acting types. I really wish I could remember what the film was about now, but oh well. But I'm excited for this one, as I always am for any Wes Anderson film.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hit or miss with Wes Anderson. Like, he's a great director. I think he is one of the best working today, but I just don't know where I'm gonna land with his material. I think he is a bit of a hit or miss, and I don't think it's because he's poor in any way. I think it's just the rate of his movies are just it's a really high output that not everything lands in the best possible way. So, and it's exciting. This cast is definitely exciting. It's a really good ensemble so far. I like, majority of these actors already that are a part of the film. It's just when it comes to Wes Anderson, you just know they're going to be stacked. So that it doesn't elevate my excitement. I was already expecting something like this. However, it was initially reported that it would just be, a really small cast for this one, which would have been surprising. But hey, big cast ensembles seem to be Wes Anderson's specialty, or what he loves to dabble in. So can't blame him for that. But hey, hopefully, for one of his future films, he kind of just is a little more intimate movie, just where there's like an actual lead actor, and then they can go from there. I just think, something a little bit different from Wes Anderson I would like. I'm come to, expect these great big cast that he does for his movies. But regardless, it's Wes Anderson. If you put his name by a movie, you're going to be excited for it regardless. So, let's hope it's just better than Asteroid City. That's the only thing.
Or French Dispatch.
French Dispatch, yeah, true. Okay.